Welcome to Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul. I have a question for you to ponder. For those of you who are younger than 50, how much time do you spend with older people? For those of you that are older than 50, how much time do you spend with younger people? A couple of weeks ago, I started thinking of this because of a conversation we had at my Exchange Club, which is a philanthropic club I was part of in Waverly for 10 years and now have joined since we moved to Rochester. Many philanthropic clubs, such as the Exchange Club, Rotary, Lions, or Kiwanis clubs, have all experienced a downturn turn in membership over the years and are trying to think of ways to entice younger people to join. Years ago, employers used to encourage their employees to join these clubs and often paid their membership dues. The clubs all have a purpose. For example, the Exchange clubs support the prevention of child abuse. Each club has a different focus. But the thing that really has been wonderful for me is the opportunity to spend meaningful time in conversation with people of different age groups. That variety is so important for us to learn from as younger people and to share life's wisdom as older people. Both ways enrich lives. When I was growing up, many churches had ladies' aids or circles that allowed women to gather. I joined them when our kids were young and always felt a sense of being taken care of by these older, more experienced women and mothers. It was comforting. And my husband found the same kind of thing with age diversity in his fishing buddies or golfing groups. Our children weren't too old when we decided to start a 500 club. It's a card club. I remember we often had Charlotte and her sister Ruth substitute. Soon, Charlotte, Ruth, and my husband Donnie and I would get together as a foursome to play as well. They were 40 to 45 years older than we were. We would play cards after the kids were sleeping, and at their age of 40 plus years ago, Charlotte and Ruth must have felt like I feel now at my current age. They didn't seem to worry about things, especially when it came to raising kids perfectly, keeping a perfect house, being the best cook. They were so accepting of the ups and downs of life. It was comforting and encouraging just to be with them. It was like being cloaked in a spirit of gentle wisdom that assured us that we were doing okay or that there was wisdom to lean into when we didn't know what to do. Today, with all the after school activities, it is hard to find time for younger people to be with older people and the older people to be with younger people. But I think it is so important for the enrichment of life. As a school principal, most of my staff were considerably younger than me. But I loved listening to them, assuring them and problem solving together about life, parenting, career decisions. My graduate students are also much younger than me, and I love knowing and helping them discover what the things are that they are stressed about and how they can be dealt with, and how sometimes to decipher issues in the field as important or not important. This knowing comes simply from living, from learning from mistakes, from learning from elders in my world who have gone before me. I still love being with people older than me. I turned 69 years old today. There is still much for me to learn, so much wisdom to gain from those seasoned lives. I love the story of Kevin Carroll's grandma, who he wrote a book about called The Rules of the Red Rubber Ball. Kevin grew up in a troubled home and eventually went to live with his grandma. He felt lost until one day he discovered what he called the red rubber ball. It opened his world. It fueled his dream. The playground became his sanctuary where he said, "My worries, shame, and low self esteem disappeared." He loved whatever sport he played, and from that he felt alive, powerful, loved, and wanted. He didn't want recess to end. He didn't want to go inside. In class, he would daydream about becoming a professional ball player. Eventually, one of his elementary teachers pinned a note on his shirt for his grandma to read. It read, "Please encourage Kevin to think about something other than sports." His grandma wrote back, "If that's what he loves, so be it." Mm. From that moment, he felt free to pursue his joy. He has gone on to survive his troubled life and established a life of helping others discover their purpose, their joy. Life had taught this grandma what was important to heal a little boy. But what do these sages in our lives get from being with those younger people than they? They get inspired by plugging into the spirit and energy that youthfulness transmits. They can be reminded that they too walked this path of vulnerability and innocence once, and that the responsibility of age is to pass on wisdom through love and acceptance of those needing it. Both the young and the elder become wiser, learn ways to live meaningful lives as we interact in this journey. This week, on your bathroom mirror, write, I will try to engage in a club or a group of different ages to enrich my life even more. Join me next Monday for Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul.